Hi guys, and welcome to this Sketch With Me video. So for today's episode, keeping in theme with the kind of vibrant coloured illustrations I've been doing lately, I'm tapping into these brand new alcohol markers that I got sent by Artify. The packaging is so stunning. This box is lovely and sturdy. It opens up with a nice little array of markers inside. This one's got 80 colours. They weren't organised by colour initially, so I took them all out and I reorganised them so that they matched the swatch and were a little bit easier to find. But the colours in here are a really nice selection. These markers themselves are a chisel end at one end and a fine tip on the other. I usually go for brush nibs, but I thought these would be fun to try out anyway, and yeah, thank you so much to Artify for sending me these. Quickly, before we get into the rest of the video, I just want to give a shout out to all the guys on the inside of the Inspiration to Creation Collective. You guys are awesome. Now, if you want to join us and tap into your creativity among artist, family and friends, then do check out the information in the description below. So these markers came with a lovely sticker sheet that you could apply the colour to so that you can get a nice idea for what those colours look like. Obviously sometimes the caps, though vibrant and pretty, can actually differ a little bit from the pigment on the inside, so it's always useful doing a swatch anyway. I think even with the stickers I would probably continue to swatch these before using them, just because it's always a good habit that I'd like to get into. Now I thought I would go ahead and make a really pretty, colourful deer. Deer are probably one of my favourite animals, and I know seeing them in the wild just makes me so happy, and I feel quite at peace when I see them. So I don't really draw them enough, and I thought maybe that today would be a good opportunity to try out these markers by drawing a nice colourful deer. I started off with some of the lighter colours. I knew I wanted to have pink and blue. Those are probably two of my favourite combination colours when I'm throwing them together in this kind of style. So I started out with putting these markers down as a base. They went down very evenly, very smoothly, and this is where you can kind of see the difference from my previous videos. I'm using alcohol markers here, and recently I've been kind of focusing on water-based markers. Now you can kind of get streaky effects with alcohol markers, but it tends to be less so because they take a little bit longer to dry. The pigment kind of seeps out into the paper a little bit more, so you don't have to be worried about bleed through if that's something you're concerned about and you're using a sketchbook like I am here. I've kind of mitigated the risk of bleeding through to later pages by actually putting in a sheet of baking paper or greaseproof paper, whatever is available to you. I've tucked it in between the two pages and I've clamped it in place with a little blue clasp you can see just on the edge there. It's really good for protecting sheets between pages, and it just stops any of that bleed through. It's actually been a little while since I last used alcohol markers. I've been busy with a whole bunch of things going on in my personal life, so I've not really had much time to get back into things that I've been enjoying in the past. I have been exploring other mediums too. I think that's something I really want to commit to, is just learning new things and being open to trying things that I haven't used much before, such as, you know, the watercolor. The water-based markers that I've been using a bit more frequently lately. But I did think, you know, with this opportunity that Artify gave me to try these markers, that it was a good chance to kind of get back into alcohol markers, and I realised how much I enjoy them. I think they are such a fun medium. They could be so colourful and vibrant and really allow you to be nice and expressive with your artwork. I think before I was doing small illustrations, I was doing perhaps little animals that didn't require a lot of varied colour. But I think actually practicing with the water-based markers, because they're cheaper, they're a little bit more, actually a little bit trickier to use, I think, which is interesting. So perhaps that's led to me feeling a bit more comfortable with alcohol markers. But because I was trying out the water-based markers, then I was making things that I hadn't really made before, and now I'm applying those techniques to alcohol markers and realising there's such a lovely crossover. And actually alcohol markers provide a really nice result that actually is closer to what I was kind of hoping to achieve. You know, with the water-based markers, I do love them. I think they're fantastic. I highly recommend them, and I think they're really great for, you know, if you want to do something really sketchy, loose illustrations. But I think you can still achieve that with alcohol markers. There's just a little difference with regards to how the colour goes down. For example, these alcohol markers always provide a really nice flat base of colour if you're not blending them or whatever. And if you apply them in an even manner, you can get a really nice, smooth, flat area of colour, such as this purple, for example, on this deer's nose. It's just one smooth layer of colour, and then you can apply pencils and crayons and everything over the top, which I think just makes them so perfect for multimedia illustrations. One thing I want to step into more is really using quite unnatural colours for my animal illustrations and kind of leaning into the fantastical aspect of that. I think it's quite playful to use colours that aren't accurate. For example, blue and purple on this deer. Yeah, I've used quite a large area of sort of neutral orange and pale colours. So I think I'm taking little steps in that direction of applying more abstract colours to my illustrations. And I think the more I do it, even if it's in small steps, it's still working towards that goal of just really being out there with the colours. I see it all the time on other artists, and it does require some knowledge of colour theory, and that's something I have focused on recently to kind of get an idea for complementary colours, tones, values and all that stuff. And I think in time I want to improve that more so I can really lean into the weird and wonderful colorations, and that's going to be a lot of fun. I realise how much I love colour itself. It's just so pretty, it makes my eyes super happy. So yeah, I'm going in after going in with the alcohol markers, going in over the top with some regular coloured pencils. These were ones that I got from a art supply subscription box. They're no longer running, which is really sad, but they provided these colour pencils. Are really just pleasant to use. They're quite soft. They're not so soft like polychromos. I think they're quite oily. These are a little bit firmer than that, but they still put down pigment really nicely. And I think combining that over the top of alcohol markers just provides such a nice combination. I think the colours of the pencils show up really nicely. They are obviously affected by the underpainting too, so it kind of changes the hue a little bit. But going in with this texture that I've been practicing lately of not drawing every hair, not going in and drawing every single detail, but just giving enough to provide a little bit of the form of the animal, to add a little bit of interest to the texture of the fur as well. It just is something that I've found I really like, and it provides detail without too much detail. Sometimes I get bogged down by by the specifics and the details and get a little bit tired looking at every single little detail. I'm definitely not the kind of detail orientated person that some artists might be. So if you're looking for a little bit more of a relaxed, casual, but still, you know, interesting illustration, just doing simple detail like this can be really effective. It's just a nice way to build up a little bit of texture for your illustrations. So whilst I finish off this little deer, I just wanted to give a little life update. I'm going to be starting a little part-time job soon, just for personal reasons. I'm going to be picking up a little bit of work, so I still intend to keep YouTube as a thing that I do weekly. I find so much therapy in drawing and talking to you guys. Even though I'm not talking directly to you, I'm talking at you, and I'm sure some people are probably not as interested in that and they just want to see the art. But anyway, that's what you get. I'm gonna ramble at you, but anyway, yes, like I said, I'm gonna aim to keep YouTube as something I do weekly. Making YouTube videos and creating artwork is just such a passion of mine. I really enjoy it, so I won't be saying goodbye to that at all. But just in case for some reason YouTube videos come out later than normal, or you know, I might miss a week here and there, that's not anything, there's nothing problematic going on, there's nothing bad going on. It's just life's getting a little busy in places, and that's okay. Things change sometimes, and you know, we need to do what we need to do in order to keep going and to look after ourselves, really. It was mainly for a bunch of reasons, but which I won't go into, but it's all good. Everything's great. I'm loving life at the minute. I'm so happy. I'm making artwork that I enjoy. I'm creating YouTube videos, which I love. I'm spending a lot of time with amazing creative people, especially the guys on the inside of the ITCC who I get to hang out with weekly, and you can too if that's something you're interested in. So do consider joining us if you want to hang out with us and create with us and just build up a family of people who want to support you and help you keep on track with your own art goals, because art is fantastic. And I think no matter what happens in life, I think even when it's busy and we're stressed, art should never have to be the thing that we let go of. And if anything I can do to keep you on track, then just let me know, really. So yeah, like I said, as always, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed, even if I was rambling at you, and I'll see you again for the next video. Goodbye, guys.